Okay, so here we are with round 2 of the 2023 Everything tier list. And if you watched part 1 with the albums, you can tell, boy, there's a lot fucking more here. So this is for shows and shorts. There's also Aladdin, because this was for the live show, and I wasn't really sure where else to put it, because it wasn't a movie, it wasn't a game, it wasn't an album. Like, well, it's still a kind of show, so I'm gonna include it here, and I guess kind of by default, it's gonna get the double S, because it was the best live show I went to, and it was Aladdin. I had a fucking good time watching Aladdin. There's high adventure in the air. It was great. But that's as good a time as any to go ahead and explain what these tiers mean. Again, if you watch my videos, or if you watch the tier list specifically, you already know what most of these mean, with maybe one big exception. This is a new one I will explain. So starting from the bottom of the fucking barrel, it's the worst of the worst. To be bottom of the fucking barrel, of course, 3 requirements. You have to be actively disliked, you have to be at the bottom of the list, and I have to hate it with just so much vitriol and bitterness that I think there can't be something worse than this in the category. Not by default, but because I just hate this so much, I don't think it can be topped. The Snoop Dogg tier. This has nothing to do with Snoop Dogg as an artist. This has everything to do with Snoop Dogg having a song, Drop It Like It's Hot. This is the tier that goes to things that I chose not to finish. If it is something that is currently unfinished, or I'm not quite caught up on it, that's something different. But if it is explicitly, I stopped because I didn't want to anymore, I made the conscious choice and effort to drop it, that is what this tier is for. F is for friends who do stuff together. But no, this is for dog shit. If it's an F, it means I fucking hated it. It means I think it is a failure. It means just no. As I frequently say, to me, D and C are kind of the twins. Both of these are about, it's mid, it's just, C is a bit more positive, C is a bit more neutral, whereas D is, I'm actively disappointed, or I find it more, like, aggressively mediocre, rather than just, no, it is okay. I guess it's more of a, C is, I'm very neutral, either because I think it's fine, it doesn't just evoke much emotion out of me, or, boy, there's a lot of things I love, but it's balanced out by a lot of the things I hate. And so they kind of balance out to a neutral stance. B, fucking thing go. There it is. B means I respect it more than I like it. A means I really like it. I'll fucking gush about it. S means you are in contention for being my favorite thing of whatever category we're talking about. So of all the shows and of all the shorts, these are the creme de la creme. And the double S will be, these are my favorites. This was my favorite live show that I watched by default, but it was also really fucking good. There might be a few double S's depending on how we do this. There'll probably be, here's my short double S. Here is my favorite, here of my double S's for anime. And if there's some shows that I watched multiple seasons of, there's a lot of RWBY up here. And honestly, the Justice League ones, I probably should have put under movies. Because they're not shows, they're movies. They're not shorts. There's an hour and a half. But I'm like, I'm just kind of going to put all of RWBY together. It just makes sense to me. So, I'm going to break my own rule for a second. But the 4 seasons of Adventure Time that I've finished, Season 5's not up here. We haven't watched it in a while. I still really want to. Clay still really wants to. We just haven't gotten around to it. And the 5 seasons of Goat Peak Kino, also known as Symphogear. And then just, like a bunch of one-off short shows that I watched, shorts that I watched, etc., etc., etc. So, I'm gonna start with RWBY, because I've talked a lot about RWBY. I've made a video on all of this, And then I made a tier list. I can basically speed run it. So we're going to put everything in the C tier. Usually I'll put something in the B tier before I talk about it, but with the Snoop Dogg here, C feels like it's more in the middle of the screen. So that sounds right to me. So we'll just start with the character trailers, which do count as shorts. I feel like they do, so that's fine. I've gushed about the Red trailer. I think it's fucking awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite shorts I've seen this year. It might be the double S for shorts. We'll see. The White trailer, I talked about it. I think it's really good. I think it looks good. I think the song is good. I like what it does for Weiss's character. Those should be flipped because Blake was before Yang. Blake's, I think, is honestly, this is really what it is. Blake's, I think, is fine. I respect it more than I like it because I think it's a really good way of establishing Blake's backstory. Yang's, there's some really cool shit in there. There's also parts about it I don't think really work. I guess we're just going to do Ice Queendom next. Ice Queendom I would put up here. I'm not, like, huge for Ice Queendom. I can't quite gush about it. But there's a lot of things I really respect and like about it. I love the Nightmare Grim. I love the Dreamcatcher lady. I think the roguelike elements of Weiss's Palace, which is another thing I like. I love that it's a very Weiss-centric season. I think the roguelike elements of the exploration are interesting, but I feel like they kind of fuck with the pacing a bit. I love the character redesigns. I love Snowboarder RWBY. I think it looks great. I would put it there. Now let's go for the actual seasons themselves. All 9 of them. I mean, again, technically they're volumes, but half the time I call them seasons anyways. And every now and then I'll call them Gen. Especially when I'm talking about like the older parts. I talk about Gen 1. Gen 1 RWBY. It's B tier. I have a lot of respect for it. I don't think it's that great, but I do have a soft spot for it. Season 2, I really like. I kind of fuck with it pretty hard. Season 3, I would put an S. Now, I will go in and say as well, right now I'm ranking them as I would in terms of being RWBY properties. When we get other shows into the, especially when it comes to the S tier, some of these might get bumped down from the S tier if I don't feel like I can really keep them in S compared to the rest of the competition. For now, we will keep them in there. Season 4, I fucking hate Season 4. I've said it before, to me, Season 4 is almost the bottom of the fucking barrel season, but it gets up to here at least because Yang's story is so good, and then I feel like Team Juniper's story is what puts it up here. But boy, everything else is fucking terrible. Season 5 I put up here. I really like Season 5. I feel like these two seasons are almost two sides of the same coin. This one is, I think all the build-up to the climax is fine. There's some good stuff in there. I think the fights are more... I think the quantity is more impressive than the quality of the fights. So I don't think a lot of them are that good. But the climax is stupendous. Here, all the buildup is really good, and I think the climax is lackluster, but then it has the Raven Cinder fight, which saves the climax. Season 6 sucks. I really fucking hate... I think Season 4 is almost worse, but the good elements of Season 4 really save it, and Season 6 just doesn't have those. Season 7 is phenomenal, except for Team RWBY. Team RWBY is what brings it down to a B tier. Like, Team RWBY to me is like F tier in this season. Everything else is S tier, and it balances out here. Season 8, I do think Season 8 is probably around here. Maybe around here, but it's probably around here. Season 9 is, to me, the best season. And it is genuinely, and as shocked as I am to say this, it feels like one of the most emotionally relevant things I have seen this year. And there's some really emotionally relevant things I've seen this year. As much as I like RWBY overall, because I do, let me go and rank these real quick also. This one's not good, but I kind of had a good time with it. And this one's honestly really good to my surprise. Which sounds bad to say, but I was actually surprised how good it was. Season 9 felt like my reward for watching all of RWBY. Especially for how much I hated Season 6, how much I hated the cast in Season 7. They were getting better in Season 8, and I feel like Season 9 is the culmination of all of that. And it was so good, it almost makes me forgive how bad the previous seasons were. It is fucking phenomenal, and I loved it. But then we get to talk about this. We get to talk about Symphogear. I fucking love Symphogear. I heard that they're working on a new project. I don't know if it's season 6. I don't know if it's if it's a movie, if it's gonna be an anime telling the story of the gacha games. You know what I want? I want a Tetsuya Nomura directed Symphogear game. I want a Symphogear action game that plays like Kingdom Hearts. Instead of fighting all these fucking Heartless, let me beat the shit out of a bunch of noise. Give me some boss noises to fight, and then give me some Symphogear using or some fucking alchemists to fight as my bosses, and then give me data alchemists to fight as super bosses. I would really want that. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to put him in the C tier. Whoops. Anyways, I don't give a shit. They're gonna be a B. Let's go season by season. Again, I've already talked about Symphogear enough on the channel. I did a video for like every couple episodes and then was like, here's my thoughts on the series as a whole. Season 1 is B tier. I respect it more than I like it. There are some good elements in there. I like a lot of Chris's story. The climax is so fucking insane, and it's amazing. The Tower of Babel mood laser. Now, like, anytime I hear I think about the Tower of Babel, or how people can't communicate or can't understand each other well, I think of Symphogear. It is now just, like, living in my head somewhere rent-free whenever that comes up, and I love it. I want to call her Tsubaki, but that's not right. Tsubasa's story arc, I think, is pretty good. I don't know how much I liked Biki in Season 1. I think I liked her enough, but I don't think she was quite my favorite in Season 1. I don't know, I'm not even sure what point it happens. But Biki is definitely my favorite character. But I think, I like her relationship with Miku throughout the show. I think it's very sweet. I ship the hell out of them. They're just they've been a married couple since episode 1. They're great. But, I just remember Season 1 being really fan-servicey, and it just being kinda icky and weird, and it doesn't look nearly as good as the other seasons, and I still think the music is good, but I don't think the music for me was quite as good as some of the other seasons. I have a lot of respect for it because of the shit that does work, and what it started, so I would put it there. G is at least an A tier season. Or like an A tier season or an A tier show. It might be an S tier. Fuck it, dude. Like, I kind of just want to put all of these other ones in S tier. If I'm being honest. Like, that feels right to me. I'm like, yeah, like Season 1. Season 1 is alright. Banger, 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 banger. With GX being my favorite season. They're all just really fucking fun. There's some shit I don't care for, narratively speaking. These seasons do have some of their weaknesses. Like, even though GX is my favorite, I think it has the weakest climax. G, I remember watching the climax and afterwards thinking, I need a fucking cigarette. That was amazing. That was impeccable. And Axis's climax is even better. The first episode of Axis is so good and so ludicrously fun. The scene that lives in my head rent-free is when a fucking missile is shot at a helicopter and Akka and Suku are in the helicopter like, oh shit. So they open the doors of the helicopter and the missile flies in, doesn't hit anybody or explode, and then just flies out and then explodes. And right after, I think it's Biki and Tsubasa are fucking jumping on missiles and using them as platforms to get to a fucking airship so they can break the airship. And that, as cool and goofy and wacky as it is, does not hold a candle to the first episode of GX, where they get shot from a missile into space so they can stop a rocket from, like, fucking crashing. They end up blowing up part of a mountain, going through a mountain, and then as the spaceship crashes, they just start, remember Biki just, like, punching fucking trees so she can start steering the spaceship. Oh, it's wonderful. And then XV does, like, some really interesting shit with Tsubasa's character, which I don't love because it's kind of what her arc in season 1 is, but not as organic. But the shit it does with Miku is really good. And what it does with, oh, what's her name? I want to say Altham. I don't remember, but like the little, not Carol, but Carol's other. Fuck, I can't remember her name, but I think it starts with an A, and she's like one of my favorite characters. Like, what they do with her throughout the season is fantastic. And, like, it looks so good, and the transformation sequences are so good. It's so dynamic, and I fucking hated Noble Red because they tried to make them more sympathetic. But when Noble Red were being just underhanded bastards, it was really fun. Oh, these seasons are so good. And they're so good. They knock season 3 of RWBY down to an A tier. If I'm being honest. Because I remember watching the season finale, or like watching the climax and going, thank you. This is the crazy Symphogear bullshit I've been wanting to see throughout this entire show. And that's probably the closest the show ever really gets to that. But it doesn't hold a candle to the real thing. This one is up here, like, it's this high because I love the writing. This is here for the character writing. This is being compared to the shorts. This, I mean, it's about as long as a season of RWBY, so I guess it still kind of works. Would I be able to, like, genuinely put it above season 3? I might, because I do like a lot of the writing and the character bits. I don't know. I might move it down to A. Like, this feels maybe a little bit more accurate. Even this, it's... do I want to put these... No, I don't. I want to keep these in S. I love Symphogear so fucking much. Oh, it's great. Give me a quick second. I need to drink something. Ah. Good old unsponsored Sprite. Adventure time! So, season 1, 2, 3, 4... Of the seasons we finished, season 4 was my favorite, so I would give it the double S of Adventure Time seasons. That would go there. That would probably also go there, because I remember really liking both of these. I think season 1 would probably be about there. Because I felt like with the first 4 seasons, it's been getting better and better. I don't remember if it was season 3 or season 4, had kind of a rocky start with the first few episodes, but then it just clicked and stayed fantastic. I'm not really sure what else I want to say. My mind is now blanking. Okay, now I'm remembering some of my favorite episodes. The second Magic Man episode with Lincoln is great. I think my favorite episode is the Dream episode, with King Worm. I think that's been my favorite of the 4.5. No, it's I Remember You, because that one made me cry the first time I saw it. And then we watched it again. I was fucking crying. I was like, this is really good. This is heart-wrenching. This is beautiful. And like the Jake the dog and Finn the human. Actually, let me check. Let me check the episodes in Season 3 and Season 4, because it's maybe Season 3 is my double S, and then Season 4 is S. Hold up. I'm gonna call an audible here. Alright. Adventure Time. Alright, Wikipedia, let's go. Episodes. Go. Okay, so the episodes in Season 3. Fiona and Cake was in Season 3. That was a really good one. The freaking Apple Thief and Tree Trunks. Holly Jolly Secrets. Okay, Season 3 had some good ones. Web Weirdos. Was that the weird, like, CG episode? Oh, no, that was the one with the spiders. Fuck, what was that CG episode? Because I remember thinking that one was really good. The Nightosphere two-parter was really good. Hugwolf was awesome. That was a really good... Oh, Princess Monster Wife was great. Princess Cookie, I do remember that one. Oh gosh, I flooped the pig. That one's great. The Beamo Noir. Yeah, there's some really, really good episodes in Season 4. The weird fucking love. Yeah, I'd say this is accurate. I would say this is accurate so far. I think I can move on from tiering Adventure Time, but not from watching Adventure Time. We need to finish Season 5, Clay. Chucky. I'm gonna leave it here. C for Chucky. No, I'm not. I fucking love this show. Unfortunately, has there been another episode? Because I don't know when it comes back. Because the last episode had aired, I think, the week either right before or right after Halloween, because it was the Halloween-themed episode, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I expected it to come back, and then it just didn't. Let me see. When was the last episode? The last episode was October 25th, 2023. Do we know when it's coming back? No, we just know it's coming back in 2024. Man. So here's the thing. Chucky is an incredibly entertaining character. I like our three protagonists. I like Jake. I like Devin. I like Lexi. Lexi definitely took some time. She was a real piece of shit in Season 1. But all three of them have grown on me a lot. But Chucky is the star of the show. And he's funny as fuck. He's violent as fuck. Bro is creative. I remember watching an episode. I was like, wait, is that Kenan Thompson? Is he in an episode of Chucky and then he dies in a really creative way? And it feels like, like, he probably was either asked to be on the show or they asked him to be on the show. Or like, we think it'd be really funny if Chucky killed you. Or he was like, guys, I want to be on this. I want to get killed by Chucky. And it was great. And I don't mean that to be like, yeah, I was happy seeing Kenan Thompson die. No. Kenan Thompson and I go way back. And I mean that as in I watched a lot of Kenan and Kel growing up. I love that shit. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. And I love Kel, damn it. And I love Kenan too. The Halloween episode was so good. I loved it. And just the fact that Chucky, of all fucking people, is chilling in the White House is so good and rife with potential. And then you have Tiffany doing all of her bullshit and the finger peeling, and it was so icky. But then you had the chandelier kill, and it was so gross, and it was awesome. And I don't want to put it in S solely because it's... I don't want to say because it's not finished, because, I mean, Frieren's not finished, and that's probably going in S, let's be honest. But, I don't know. I don't know if I could quite put it there. It's an A tier for sure. At the same time, though, I'm like, I feel like I've enjoyed Chucky about as much as I've enjoyed Symphogear. Like, for different reasons. I mean, it is for the same reasons. It's over-the-top, goofy shit. Except this is, we're going to use the power of music and friendship to fight monsters. And this is, you're all gonna die. Like, no, it's an S tier. I really enjoyed it. I always had fun watching it. It's great. It's fantastic. this isn't... I didn't really like Lico Rico. I'm gonna be honest. I thought, for the most part, that it was fine. I didn't love it, but I was enjoying it enough. I didn't dislike it. But boy, I fucking hated the ending. What I remember is Chisato's, a major part of her character is being a pacifist. I don't want to kill anybody. And if the only way I can keep living... Okay, you know, I'll say this. I am about to go into major spoilers for this show. So, keep that in mind. Be warned. I'm going to give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live. As a pacifist, Chisato does not want to kill anybody, which gets in the way of her being an assassin. But she finds ways around it. Like, I'm not going to kill somebody, but I am going to do my job. Like, I'm going to stop them from what they're doing. I will take them out. Like, I will arrest them, but I will not kill. Fine, fair, that's cool. She is dying because she has a bad heart, and if I remember correctly, she has a fake heart that is explicitly not going to last forever. And the reason she was given that heart is because of her special skills and talents with, you know, fucking killing people. With the idea being, you will get to live longer, but we're not going to give you something that's a permanent solution because we want to make sure you make good on our investment. And she hasn't. And Chisato makes it clear, I don't want... Oh, yeah, that's right, because they can try to steal the heart, but then, like, her handler? Not really, but kind of. I don't remember his name, but he's the guy who in English is voiced by Kira, who I know whenever I hear that voice as Rufus Albarrea from Trails. And I always get really giddy now whenever I hear him, because I really like his voice. Puts the heart in his own heart and is like, cool, Chisato, you have to kill me to get the heart. I am going to make you a killer one way or another. Which, you know what? I respect the play. That's a pretty fucked up move. You know what I respect more, though? Chisato saying, I don't want to live on that. Like, if I have to die, then I have to die. But we can kill him and take his heart. That means I had to kill somebody. No. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. If I die, then I die, but I will die with my morals and I will die with my integrity. And I really liked that. And it made me really excited for what was going to happen in the climax in the last few episodes. Because to me, there's two ways this can go. Number one, Chisato has to sacrifice her morals, where she decides, no, I want to live. I like the life that I have. I like my friends. I like Lico Rico and all that shit. I have to fight for myself. And if I have to take you down, then I'm going to do it. I don't want to. Because I know after the first time, it's probably going to be easier. But I have to live, so I'm sorry. Or, pun intended, she will stick to her guns. She won't kill him. And she will say, no, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. I love the life I lead, but it is not worth the life of another. So I'll see ya. Which is a really fucking sad ending. But it makes sense for the character. And I really like that. I'm like, I don't know what she's gonna do. But I feel like she's more likely to do the latter. So what ended up happening? Did she stick to her guns and let herself die? Or did she break her morals to save her life? Neither, but also both. She said, I'm not gonna kill you, but her teammates killed him anyways, then used the heart to keep her alive. So, she stuck to her morals of not killing, but also gets to keep living with that heart from the guy who died. And it almost works. Because not long after, she disappears, and they don't know where she is, and they find her in Hawaii. And then she's like, oh yeah, well, I've kind of been here for a while, because, you know, I'm an awkward person, so, whoops. And then they all relocate. I guess they... They... Rico to Hawaii? They relocate down to Hawaii, and then they start living there, and that's how the show ends. The reason I say it almost works, because I feel like what they were trying to set up is Chisato is like, I know exactly why I'm alive, and it's because you guys went against my wishes, and you killed him and let me live on a stolen heart. I understand he's a piece of shit. I understand you wanted me to be alive, but this isn't right. So I don't want to enjoy my life if it's on stolen time, not borrowed time, stolen time. And if you guys can't respect my decisions, then I don't want to be around you. Totally fair if that's the case. But when they meet up with her, it is... okay, it's not like, man, I'm punishing myself by being away from the people I love. You're living in Hawaii. That's not punishment. That's not, I don't want to enjoy my life, so I want to be alone. So I went to Hawaii? Okay. And then even, I can't remember what the other girl's name is. I want to say it's like Megumi, but I know it's not. Oh, this is bothering me. I have to look it up now. Because I remember Chisato, and I cannot remember the other name in this fucking show. Rico. Oh, what is your name? Takina. Definitely not Megumi. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. But when Takina tracks her down and confronts her, Chisato doesn't give her any shit. It's not like, yeah, I did it because you guys clearly didn't listen to me and I'm mad at you. It's just kind of like oh, well, I'm not good with goodbyes and I was going to get transferred, so I just kind of left, but you found me. So I feel like you could have still had an interesting confrontation. They don't have to fight or anything, but they can fight. Like, they can argue. They can come to an understanding. But the fact that they didn't even try, and it's essentially like, no, Chisato gets to live and keep her morals, even though they are explicitly incompatible at that point, and no one gets called out for it, really, really bothered me. You know, I was gonna leave it in C, because I think it's overall fine, but you know what? I fucking hate the ending. I don't hate it enough to put it here. It's not this bad. I don't think it's this bad, but it's this bad. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. No, I still don't think it's an F tier. It's not this bad, but it's not good. I think I watched maybe 70 seconds of Velma and then said, I don't want to watch anymore. I remember very early in the first episode, the scene where two cockroaches started humping each other and just thought, oh, that's the kind of show this is. I think I'm done. And it's not like the narration beforehand was particularly endearing. And anytime I've just seen clips from the show, or scenes, or heard people talk about what happens, just the more thoroughly unpleasant it sounds. I'm like, I'm glad I got out when I did. I think that was a good decision. So I didn't look back. It dropped it like it's hot. Star Wars Vision, Season 2. Because I'd already seen season 1 when it came out, so it's not going to be here. This is like a B tier. It's an anthology show, and I feel like that's kind of what I thought of it. It was like, I respect it more than I like it. I remember there were some parts of it that I really liked that I thought were pretty neat. I don't remember a lot of them off the top of my head. Like, it doesn't... To me, it doesn't leave the biggest impression on me. But it was just a very much as I watched it over a weekend. And I was like, oh, that was cool. That was kind of neat. And then I moved on. And I feel like that's maybe, in terms of how memorable it is, it's probably more of a C tier. But I do remember while watching it, really vibing with and getting into a lot of the shorts. So I think I would put it there. And speaking of shorts, this is Hisuian Snow, which I would probably put in the same place. It's really short. I think you can watch the whole thing in about 20 minutes. And it's just it's a thing about the Hisui region, which, if you're familiar with their Pokemon lore, that's past Sinnoh. And that's what Legends Arceus is. And Arceus is my second favorite Pokemon game. Because it's the Pokemon game I'd more or less been wanting to play my entire life. And it was great. And I couldn't put it down. I remember the day it came out. When I got it, I played for 13 hours. And then the next day, I also played for 13 hours. I couldn't put it down. Oh, it was great. Like, I was working double time just to play a fucking game. And the show's, it's fine. I don't even know if I put it in B. Like, no, I think I would. Like, I respect it. I think it's very pretty. I thought it was cute. It's maybe more around here-ish, but I love Pokemon so much. I love Hisui so much, and it's about, like, Hisuian Zorua and Zoroark, which is one of my favorite Pokemon designs. I love how they look. I love their colors. I love the shiny Hisuian Zorua. It's perfect. It's normal ghost. It's a type I've been wanting to see for a long fucking time. I just think it's neat as fuck. Another short... unedited footage of a bear. I don't want to say anything about it. I just recommend you watch it. It's an Adult Swim thing. You can get through it in about... How long is that? I'm about to bring it up real quick. I want to say it's about 12 minutes. It might be a little longer. It might be a little shorter. Let's see. It is 10 minutes and 29 seconds. Actually, wait, hold up. Let me check that again, because it looked like it got a little janky there. Sorry, just had to clear my throat. I'm going to drink some Sprite here for a sec, too. Yeah. It's about 10 and a half minutes. You can watch it on YouTube. Go watch it. Don't look up anything about it. I don't want to spoil the experience. I did not have it spoiled for me. I don't even remember how I found out it existed. I might have been looking into Pibby to see if it got picked up, which unfortunately it didn't. I'm very sad about that. This is an S tier short. I thought it was great. I thought it was super interesting, and I loved it. It actually might be my double S tier short. Like, I'm not exactly sure what my double... No, I know what my double S tier short is. It's not the red trailer. As much as I would love it to be the red trailer, it's not. As much as I love this, it's not this. It's not this. That doesn't feel wrong, actually. Oh, that feels right. I actually feel like this euphoric rush seeing it there. Oh, Northern War was bad. Northern War was terrible. Sen no Kiseki, Northern War. I think that's what it's technically called. It is a Trails anime. I believe it is the first Trails anime. And it goes over the eponymous Northern War that takes place between Erebonia. The fuck? Oh no, I kind of like Erebonia. Oh but it's the war between Erebonia and Northumbria. It is an event that takes place in between Cold Steel 2 and Cold Steel 3, and is integral to the narrative developments that happen in Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4. I don't think as much Reverie, but they're to a degree, because there's a lot of impact and fallout from not only the Northern War, but all the shit that it leads to. Everything I had heard about the Northern War in Cold Steel 3 was really fucking interesting. It talked about how intense it was, and the insane impact it had on Reen's psyche. I wish I could have seen that, because most of what I saw was boring as sin. It's about a bunch of people from Northumbria, which hyped me up. I was like, I get to see Northumbria, because it's not in the games. I know it's a shithole, but it's a really important shithole to the lore. I really want to see it. I want to explore it. Let me meet some people from Northumbria. I don't remember any of you. I remember Lavi because she's the main character, and she had a nice hat. I couldn't tell you much about her. I didn't find her that interesting. There's almost something interesting with the fact that her grandpa was this war hero that, from what I remember, his people, like some of the people closer to him, had kind of turned against him and became disillusioned with him, but still wanted to use his name and his memory because of how much it meant to the masses. And that's interesting. And her wanting to live up to her grandfather and his name and his legacy, but not being sure the best way to do that, or if she is capable of doing that, and that's pretty interesting. But I just found her boring and not interesting. I didn't find her friends that interesting. I thought the pacing was fucking dog shit. It takes so long for the war to start, and then I blinked and it was over. I was like, for the big, Northern War, where was it? I don't think, it's a one core anime. I don't think the war started till episode 9 or 10. There's some brewing conflict, and I like that, because I love politics. That's something I actually love about Trails, but boy, did it not work. The whole thing is a letdown. It's bad. It's fucking awful. It's right here. And it's not even the worst Trails media I experienced this year. I played Kuro 2. I talked about Kuro 2 for 4 hours. It was awful. Oh, it was awful. And I still have to do the post game. And I don't want to. But I will. Oshinoko. I have also heard it translated or referred to as my star or my idol's child. And boy, when I heard that title, my idol's child, I cringed. I don't know if you've ever seen The Lighthouse, but I've seen a meme from The Lighthouse, and it's of just Willem Dafoe, and the text is, "Look at you, posting cringe." And I fucking love it. And I heard the title, and I was like, what is this? This might be worse than I died, reincarnated, and turned into a vending machine. Which could be great. I've never read it or watched it, but I read the title and thought, this is stupid. But I kept seeing it, people talking about it on my Twitter feed, and it's super good, it's fantastic, it's great, go watch it, don't spoil anything. So I looked it up on TV Tropes, and the first thing I see is, watch it, don't read anything until you see it. Well, you got my attention, let me watch the first episode. Oh, the first episode is a movie, okay. Let's see it, let's see what this is about. Yeah, this is fucking weird. Yeah, this is kind of cringe. I don't know. And then as it keeps going, though, I'm like, okay, this isn't as weird as I thought it was going to be. It's not as creepy as I thought it was going to be. The parts that are actually creepy are about Ai and how meticulous she is as a performer, and almost how, like, sociopathic she is, and how she can't tell her children that she loves them. Not because she doesn't love them, but because she's not sure if she actually feels that or not. And she knows the moment I say it, I'll know if I mean it or if I'm acting. And I don't want to know. It's like Schrodinger's parent. Schrodinger's love. Until I announce it, I don't know if it's there or not. And that's interesting. And as she's giving her interviews and performances, is like, I have to be, like, everything I do is meticulous and controlled for my perfect image. Huh. Like, I respect that, but also, there's something wrong with this person. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing where it goes. I don't want to spoil how the movie, it's the first episode. It's basically like 3 to 4 episodes in one. I won't spoil how it ends. But I was hooked. I was like, okay, I gotta watch more of this shit. I can't wait. And I watch that shit every week, dude. It was great. There are times where it is genuinely funny. There are times where it is genuinely gut-wrenching and just heart-wrenching. I don't remember if I cried. I don't think I did. But it definitely got some strong emotional reactions out of me. I liked it a lot. I'm interested in continuing it with the manga. If another season comes out next year, I'll probably just watch that instead. But I am interested in seeing what happens. I've heard some things that happen, and I don't know if it's legit or if it was a joke. But it was like, oh, so now we're getting into the weird shit that made me not want to read the series or watch the series. But maybe it's not an actual thing that's happening. And I mean, people can justify it however they want. But I'm like, I don't know. That still just doesn't do it for me. But from what I saw, this was one of my favorite shows this year. I really, really liked it. And now, Jolene Cujo, we will reach heaven. What is Stone Ocean? I wanted to call it Heaven's Feel because, you know, Poochie and all of his plans and reaching heaven and shit are like, no, that's fate. That's not what this is. This was Stone Ocean. Oh boy, I had such a good time watching Stone Ocean. Watching JoJo characters and stand fights and weird goofy shit like playing catch or anything Foo Fighters did. Or Dragon's Dream, which is this weird Final Destination kind of fight, but not really, but also kind of. And I think Whitesnake is a pretty cool stand. And then you had Sea Moon, which was really fucking cool. And then Made in Heaven, which was awesome. And just watching Made in Heaven activate was so visually cool, man. I think the ending song is great. I think the opening song is great. I really liked the main cast. Well, okay, I love Jolene. I love Emporio. Anastasia, I think, is okay. I fucking love Foo Fighters. I like Hermes. She's not one of my favorites, but I do like her quite a bit. Am I missing someone? Oh, and fucking Weather Report. The fucking snails. What was that? That was almost amazing. And then as it's explained, it does some JoJo shit where the more they explain it, the more I'm like, no, this is getting dumber the more you talk about it. And I know I shouldn't be trying to use any semblance of logic in a show like this, but this stopped making sense a while ago. And the more you explain it, like, and let me put it like this. This is really cool. It doesn't really make sense, but I'll buy it. And then you tried to explain it. And now that you're trying to make it make sense, it is not only making less sense, but I'm becoming more forgiving of the, less forgiving, excuse me, of the bullshit. I still had a great time. I wouldn't put it in S. I put it in double S, no! I would put it in A. I didn't quite love it as much as some of these others, but I did have a really good time. The 2 Survivor seasons that came out this year, I think these were the only 2, because I think 43 was 2023. This year being 2023, and I think 43 came out in 2022. Bleh, I did all that wrong. 44, I mean, I've said this before when talking about Survivor seasons. The new era seasons have kind of been blending together for me because they don't have, they're just numbers. It's not heroes versus villains or Ghost Island or David versus Goliath where I can be like, oh yeah, I remember this theme and this is some of the shit they did with the theme and this is the person who won the theme. Or a location where I'm like, oh yeah, China. These are some of the major players in China. These are some of the major players in Pearl Islands and Panama, etc., etc. It's just numbers. And that doesn't really help distinguish it in my head. From what I remember, 44 was the Tika 3. There were other people in the season, but I mostly really only remember the Tika 3, Franny and Matt for the showmance. I remember Danny quite a bit. I remember like, hey Jeff, to get Jeff's attention and then farting during a challenge. And I respect that. Bruce for like the 2 seconds he was on screen. But I think a lot of that is the memorable exit and what happened here. And I remember Matt also for his very memorable exit. Like there's other people I remember. Like I remember, again, like I've said before. Or I think I said this in my album tier list that I just did. I have a pretty good memory. I remember some of the other, like, I remember people in the Orange Tribe. There was Jamie. There was Brandon. There was, I think her name was Maddie, was the first person that was voted out. Lauren, Heidi. That might be that entire tribe, because I mentioned Matt earlier. But none of them were memorable to me, because they didn't leave much of an impression. And then even the other people on Tika. There was Sarah, and I want to say Helen was the other girl's name, but they didn't really get much of a chance to leave an impression either. It felt like, here's Matt and Franny, pay attention because Showmance is adorable, and it was. And the Tika 3. The Tika 3 were great. I love Carson, I love Carolyn, I love Jam Jam. They carry the fucking season. The fact that, I mean, I guess spoilers. Maybe I shouldn't go into spoilers here. But, like, I feel like the season does have a satisfying ending. Especially when you realize, it's not even like, oh, I realize it's been their story the whole time. No, it's very fucking clearly been their story the entire time. But it is a good story. I just wish the side characters, for me, were more memorable. So I don't think I would put it in S. Maybe I'd put it more in A. I could maybe, or I said A, but I meant B. I could maybe put it in A. I think it's maybe more of a B tier season. This is an S tier for me. Because 90-minute episodes. I felt like it's literally the exact opposite of what I was saying here, where I'm like, here are the clear main characters, but I didn't really get to know everybody else. I felt like I got to know everybody here. The RWBY 4 were the main characters. We got to know Jake. We got to know Katura. We got to know Bruce. I fucking love Bruce. I'm so glad we got Bruce on 45, but I am so mad I didn't get to see him and Carolyn together on 44. It would have been gold. Oh, I'm robbed of that shit, man. We got to know financial analyst Emily Flippin. Sabaya was not around for very long, but I fucking loved Sabaya. Caleb was great. Brandon was a mess, but he was a memorable mess. Like, I have a big soft spot for Brandon, especially because he didn't fucking quit. Other 2 members of Lulu. I really liked Kelly a lot. I liked Brando a lot. What's really interesting about Kelly and Brando is, in the early part of Bello, it's very clear they're the ones who are probably going to be keeping the tribe together. And then Brando goes pre-merge, and Kelly is doing the best she can, and she's taken out early into the merge, and Bello completely falls apart. I feel like one of the only people I didn't really get to know very well was J. Maya. Because even Shifu, like, gets enough screen time that you understand who he is and his vibes. I'm like, I love this dude. I think he's great. I don't think he has any winner equity, the poor guy. It's just not working out for him, but yeah. And then of our actual main characters, the RWBY 4, I saw a lot of people on the Survivor Reddit just not liking Drew. I had a really good time with Drew. I had a really good time with Austin. I actually really liked Julie, and I think D is great. I think we got some really good main characters. We got some really memorable side characters. And we got Bruce, and the 90-minute episodes let the season and the cast fucking breathe. It was great. Pokemon. Oh, no. No, that is not going there. Aim to be a master. The finale of Ash Ketchum, and then Pokemon Horizons. Aim to be a master, I was really looking forward to, and I was kind of enjoying it, and then I just sort of wasn't, and then in hindsight, looking at the previous episodes, like, these are okay, but, like, is this it? Is this kind of it? And there's all the build-up to the Latios following him. I'm like, cool, he's gonna, like, catch a Latios? That's kind of neat, and, oh, that didn't fucking happen. I mean, he helps her save her brother Latios, and he doesn't catch that either. It's like, it's the ending. He doesn't need to catch anything. Yeah, but it still would have been fucking cool. There's a whole Hatena line episode, and I just wanted to see him catch a Hatena. Boy, wouldn't it be really great if a main character in a Pokemon anime caught a Hatena? Because it's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Because it just looks like a Kirby character, and it's perfect. Gee, that would be fucking neat. But as disappointed as I felt with Aim to be a Master, at the end of the day, I think it's a good ending. Because I liked the ending. The final episode of My Boy, Trash Ketchup, I thought was really good. We didn't get to see everybody, but we saw most everybody. I feel like there were a few of his Pokemon we didn't see. We did get a Primeape episode. That was big for me. I really wanted to see Primeape again. Or Larvitar. Or Haunter. Those didn't happen. With May, I'm more understanding because it was her voice actress had passed away. And from what I understand, like, they didn't want to recast her. So it's like, we're going to leave her be. I get that. But the fact that Ash got to see everybody else, and here's a major companion that he didn't get to, I mean, he didn't get to see Max either because of, no duh, if you're not seeing May, you're not seeing Max. But it makes it feel just that much more notable that she wasn't there. I get it, though, so I can't be too upset. But the fact that there's no Primeape reunion, no Larvitar reunion, no Haunter reunion. He did reunite with his Pidgeot, though. He did finally... yeah, I want to double check. I have to double check. It's like, because I remember him going back and getting his Pidgeot. I'm like, he did do that. It only took him until the fucking end of the Ding Dang series. But he did it. He got Pidgeot back. And it was kind of a beautiful fucking moment. The end of Journeys, he reunites with Butterfree. And I kind of wish that it also been able to be a full-ass episode. But it wasn't. Which I guess just kind of is what it is. And what it is a disappointment. But I don't... As much as I'm shitting on it, I don't hate it. And it really comes down to, I thought it had a very strong ending. Then we get this. Huh. 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 Gay. Huh. 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 Gay. Or I think it's in the dub. Go. Go. Flaco. Like, oh my gosh. It's beautiful. I love it. You mean it's an actual world-hopping adventure? And your base of operations isn't some random-ass place in Vermilion City? It's a fucking airship? You mean a main character has a Hatena? You mean it's good? Because I really like Horizons. I was gonna watch the new episode today, but it's not out because it doesn't come out till next week. And I was like, ah, fuck. I really wanted to watch another episode of Horizons. I don't think it's quite an S. I don't think I would be like, dude, this is as good as some of these other. Like, I don't think I can quite do that, especially knowing some of the shows that are coming up. Actually, where is Sonny Boy? There's Sonny Boy. But it's an easy A. I fucking love it. I'm having a great time with it. Dude, when I did the Indigo Disc DLC, just seeing Terrapagos, so like, if I hadn't been watching Horizons, I would think this is like pretty cool and okay. But the fact that Terrapagos is a major fucking character in the show I've been watching, like, this just makes this feel more important and more special to me. It's like, Ho-Oh, I really like Ho-Oh, so I can't really say anything about that. But doing anything with Ho-Oh, watching the first episode and understanding the impact seeing that golden bird had, makes it feel there's that much more special, you know? So, like, this is good shit. This is my favorite short all year. Once Upon a Studio. That's not even close. That's not even a question. This, if you haven't seen it, is a short made by Disney, released on the 100th year anniversary of Walt Disney Studios. My voice cracked a little bit. And, you get to see at least one character from every animated Disney movie. Some of them get a few. Some of them get a nice amount of speaking lines. Some of them are just silent cameos. You get to see characters from the Black Cauldron. You get to see fucking John Henry. You get to see characters just interacting with each other. Like Elliot from Pete's Dragon picking up Cody from the Rescuers Down Under, imitating Cody flying with the eagle, but instead he's flying with a dragon. You get to see Dodger from Oliver and Company, a movie that is just kind of, I really like. I don't think it's that great overall. I really don't. But I have a soft spot for it, and I just see him riding shotgun in Vanellope's car, and I'm like, I needed this. I didn't know I did, but it's lovely. I get to hear new dialogue from Robin Williams' Genie. It's not very long, just a short joke. But it was nice. It was great. It was lovely. There's this little joke from Olaf, which is actually pretty funny. So I think Olaf is pretty funny in the first Frozen. Anna and Elsa throw some good shade at Hans, and it's great. Scar gets to say he's surrounded by idiots. Hades gets a vocal role, and I get to see the fucking Dalmatians watching Chernobog on in Fantasia. What? I needed that. I didn't even know I did. It's wonderful. And it ends. They're trying to take a group picture. I'm going to spoil this. It's only like 7 minutes. And then the picture doesn't work, and everyone's like upset, and they're like, we'll do it in another 100 years. And then Alan Adale, the fucking MVP of the whole thing, just starts strumming along and starts playing When You Wish Upon a Star. And then, like, the Disney princesses start singing to it, and Scuttle starts singing to it, and he's terrible, and it's fantastic. And then they take their group picture. And by far, to me, the best part is when Mickey is interacting with the portrait of Walt Disney. and he's like in the middle of shit. He's trying to organize the picture, and he just stops. And he looks at his creator, and he's like having trouble finding the words. He's like, I gotta go. But thanks. On with the show. And it's a very short scene. But as someone who loves the creations of Walt Disney and the things that, like, his company has made, not all of them. I've complained a lot about some Disney shit. Y'all probably know. But as also someone who just loves creating things. That moment between creator and creation and the love shared really, really strikes a chord with me. So yeah, I fucking loved it. This was pretty bad. I can't even joke. I really liked it. I really, really liked Amazing Digital Circus. I mean, I think of all the... in terms of just shorts, this is definitely in contention for being my favorite. I liked it a lot. I think the designs are really fun. I think it was really funny. I think it was really creative. I'm looking forward to seeing more. I don't think there's really anything else to say. But I feel like it's more of a short right now than I could say a show. But when it gets more episodes, then we'll see. And hopefully it does this year. I didn't put it on my list or shit to watch. I forgot about that. But if it does get episodes, you know I'm going to be fucking watching them. Let's go. Shadow's House, Season 2. Because I watched Season 1, I think it was in 2022. I think it's cool. I think it's really neat. I like the very, like, gothic horror elements in it. I really like a lot of the visuals. But in addition to that, I think a lot of the lore is super interesting. I think a lot of the mysteries around the house, the Shadows family is super interesting. I had said it's something I would probably like to read when I'm done with it, which I still haven't yet. And I think I had said that after Season 1 as well, and I didn't do it then either. But I do want to. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as I enjoyed Oshi, but I would definitely put it in an A tier. If you haven't seen Shadow's House, I would highly recommend it. Speaking of houses that I really want to stay at, oh boy, fucking Edgerunners. I'm gonna be honest. It took me a while to like Edgerunners. And it wasn't like at first I was like, dude, this is bad. This is so bad. I was just like, oh, I think it's okay. I'm just not super clicking with it yet. And I think it's episode 3 is when, like, the big car chase happens. And that was for me, I was like, okay, this is now going full trigger. And I'm starting to, like, we're getting to meet the rest of the crew. We're getting to meet the Edgerunners. That's something I always love, is when you get to meet the crew and the squad. Like, this is all what this shit we can do. And just seeing cool people fuck around with each other. Those are just tropes that I love. Like, this is getting really good. But I don't know what happens in this show. But I know the way people talk about this show. So it's not, these good times ain't gonna last, bad shit's gonna happen, and boy, this shit hit the industrial fan. It's great. It's really great. I feel like, yeah, like, I kept hearing people talk about how phenomenal this show was, and they're pretty much right. I feel like the more I've kind of sat on it, because when I was done with it, I was like, I really like it. I don't know how much I quite love it. I do love it. The more I've thought about it and let it sit, I think I had some criticisms about the finale, and I was like, dude, if I didn't know anything about Atom Smasher, I would think this is total bullshit, and that's probably correct, but the climax is fucking great, man. It's really good. Oh, I gotta put it in S. I think I really do. I really like Edgerunners, but there's a lot of S tiers. I might have to take some out. We'll see. We'll see. This doesn't go in S tier. This goes right there. I did not get into the White Lotus. I watched, I think, the first 4 episodes out of 6. I watched about 2/3 of it. And I didn't give a shit. I remember watching a scene where, what's his name? I want to say it was Quinn. Where, like, the brother of the family, so there's the family, their son, he's supposed to sleep in the living room with his sister, not in the same bed, but like a side bed, and the sister's best friend is also there on their vacation. They're like, no, we don't want him in here. He's gonna be jerking off and, like, looking at my friend. Okay, like, I guess kind of fair enough. So he ends up sleeping in the fucking closet? Pantry? I don't super remember. Then he's like, I don't want to sleep in here anymore, but they don't want me in here. So I'm gonna go down to the beach, and I'm gonna sleep on the beach. Okay. Probably not the best decision, but it is what it is. And he brings his Switch and his laptop and his phone. Now, it might not have been all 3, but he's like, he brings all his electronics there. Puts them in the sand, and when he wakes up, they're gone or super wet. And it's like, oh yeah, they were taken in by the tide. And he's like, no, my stuff. Oh my god. I'm like, yeah, you fucking moron. Why did you bring your shit down with you? You're going to sleep. You don't need your Switch with you on the fucking beach. I feel no sympathy for you. You're an idiot. And I just kind of felt that about a lot of the cast. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be sympathetic with you, at least to some degree. I'm just finding a lot of you annoying or insufferable. Like, I think her name is Jennifer Tilly. I kept hearing about how people loved her in this show, and they loved her performance. And I kept waiting for it. I was like, I just find her character really annoying. And I feel like that's kind of the point, but it's just not doing anything for me. So I stopped watching. And then I looked it up. I was like, what happens? Like, do I really care? No, but what happens? Oh. Boy, am I glad I didn't watch these last 2 episodes. So, Snoop Dogg. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End has been fantastic. The visuals are gorgeous. The soundtrack is gorgeous. The character designs are gorgeous. Just, the idea is gorgeous. The idea is so beautiful to me. I love the idea of an after story. And I don't just say it because I've been reading Clannad After Story. I've always been fascinated with the idea of, like, what happens after Happily Ever After? Like, after a character goes on their big adventure, how are they able to live their life after? That's so interesting to me. And that's what this show is. It is, I went on the big adventure, I helped kill the Demon King, and it's been, 70 years since? About 30 years since the leader of that party died. Because as an elf, she's gonna outlive everyone she's ever met. It's really good, man. You can tell just what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I really like it. Like I've said, I was like, I want to read this when the anime is done and when I'm done with it. I probably will at some point. I've said it about this too, and I'm kind of hesitant. I can't wait. When the anime is done, I'm going to binge the shit out of this manga. I know I'm supposed to read One Piece. I do plan on reading One Piece. But I can't wait to catch up on this. I'm not even going to pretend it's not S tier. It's so good. The show is fantastic. This season is fantastic. I loved it. I love the weird fucking monsters. I love how creative it is. I love her relationship with her mom. I love her relationship with her dad. I love her relationship with her friends. I love all the fucking shit that happens in the finale. If you haven't seen Hilda, don't watch it. If you have seen Hilda, I don't know, go watch it again. I might watch it again at some point. It's fantastic. Oh, Owl House Season 3. If I remember correctly, 2 of the 3 Season 3 episodes came out last year. Because I think episode 1 came out at the end of 2022. And it's really good. I feel like it is... I respect it a lot for what it had to do. Because they didn't really get a 3rd season. And they did their best to make it work. That alone gives it a B. But the thing is, they really made it work. The question is, would I put it in S? I might. I think I would, actually. I'm gonna have to, like I said, I have a lot of things in S. There was a lot of things I watched this year that were phenomenal. I might trim this down a bit, but I feel like Owl House might have to stay up there, man. So this is another short. This I think I watched right after unedited footage of a bear. This is called This House Has People in It. And you just watch a house that has people in it. And things going on with this family as I think they're preparing for a birthday party. I put it here. I didn't like it as much as I liked this one. I'll be honest, but yeah, you were right there. I didn't like it as much as I liked this one, but I liked it. I respect what it was trying to do. I think it did it well. It just wasn't my favorite, but I did like it. Witch from Mercury. Does it go here? Does it go here? It does not go below here. So I believe I've said this a few times, talking about my familiarity with Gundam. I've watched G Gundam. I've watched all of which. I just recently finished watching the trilogy of MSG movies. I've seen 00. I watched a chunk of Wing and just couldn't get into it. I watched... There was something else, but now I don't remember what it was. Oh, I tried watching Seed when I was a kid, and I couldn't get into it. But I'm interested in watching it, but I've heard Destiny is terrible. Oh, yeah, my friend showed me a Gundam meme the other day, and it's like from the end of original Mobile Suit Gundam, where I think Lala's telling Amuro that like Destiny is unavoidable, and then it's just a picture of Gundam Seed, Destiny, and Amuro having a breakdown. And like, dude, I don't know how bad Destiny like is, because I haven't seen it. But from what I've heard, that is accurate, and that's fucking hilarious. The reason I love Witch from Mercury so much is because this is Mobile Suit Utena. This is Revolutionary Girl Gundam. And I fucking really like Utena. It's a great time. I enjoyed Witch from Mercury, the first season. I'll get to the second season in a second. I enjoyed the first season so much. It started like I was coming up with an idea for like an idea for like a high school that has like that kind of dueling mechanic that you see here, that you see in Utena, which really became its own idea that doesn't quite still have that, unfortunately. It kind of still has the duels. I really like the thing I came up with. I had a great time. I thought it was great. I feel like season 1, is A tier. Like, it's good. I had a good time with it. It was great. Season 2 is what puts it up here. Season 2, because it's not to say that it's not Gundam in season 1. There's those Gundam moments and elements. Season 2 is a fucking Gundam show. It is about war. It is about death, war crimes, casualties. I remember watching an episode like, this is about a school shooting. This is an incredibly intense episode, and it's really, really good. I loved it. don't think there's really much else I have to say. Go watch it. Like, if you haven't. And, like, I will also say this. Watching Witch from Mercury made me want to get into Gundam. Which kind of happened with G Gundam. And then I was watching Wing, and Wing made me go, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But I'm like, no. I'm getting into Gundam. It's one of my big goals for 2024. And it's not that I'm going to watch all of it. Because there's a lot of Gundam. And there's other shit I want to do this year. I at least want to watch the original shit. MSG, Zeta, Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack. I'm also really interested in Turn A. Those for me are for sure the 2024 Gundam goals. There's other shit I want to watch too. I've heard of like some OVA series that are really, really good that I'm interested in checking out. Maybe I'll watch Sneed. We'll see what happens. But I fucking loved Witch from Mercury. Can't quite say the same about My Adventures with Superman, but I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. I really liked Lois, because, like, she just looks like Luz. I kind of dig this. This is great. I like Clark. I like Jimmy. I like the relationship they all have. It was good. Maybe not great, but it was, yeah, I had a good time. I enjoyed my time. If there's a second season, I will watch the second season. I feel like it's maybe more of a B. I think that's fair. What is that? I'm sorry, like, the visuals are all so fucked up. I genuinely don't know what... Oh, that's Lackadaisy. Sorry, I know I was going... I should probably... I mean, I guess I'll end with Sonny Boy then. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, that's a cat. Oh! I know what that is! This is that thing with a bunch of cats and in the Roaring Twenties and speakeasies and prohibition and... I liked it. I thought this was cool. I like cats. I like the 1920s and the Roaring Twenties and prohibition and shit. I would totally watch more of that. Yeah, A tier. Runaway Brain. This is an old short where Mickey's brain goes into Julius, it's Pete, but Julius's body, and then Julius's brain goes into Mickey's body, who gets really into Minnie Mouse. I would also give this an A. Maybe not quite an S, but I had a really, really good fun time watching it. Then there's Sonny. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Then there's Sonny Boy. Sonny Boy is an S tier. Maybe higher. We'll see. Of the... You know what? Let me kind of try to condense this a bit. That's not anime. That's not anime. One of these is going to go up here. I'm not 100% sure which one yet. You Get Here by Default, but are also good. The best RWBY season, the best Symphogear season, my favorite Adventure Time season, and my favorite short. Of these, I don't know. I didn't say anything yet about Sonny Boy, so let me go ahead and do that. Sonny Boy is a great idea for an isekai. People are trapped in a world. They want to learn how to get back. And as they're in this other world, they start developing superpowers. And while they're in this other world, they find other worlds. And it kind of becomes this question about how do we get back? And then a certain point is it, do we want to get back? And can we go back? Do we just make the best of what we have? Exploring all of these ideas and these character studies. And the ending is phenomenal. And it doesn't have an opening, but the song that plays at the credits of every episode is beautiful. And then it plays in the last episode as this acoustic song. And when it plays at the end of every episode, it's like the studio version. I think it's really good. But the acoustic version is so raw and emotional. And it sounds like the singer is barely holding it together as he's singing. And it's so human. And that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it perfect for Sonny Boy. And there's so many good episodes, and then the last episode, it's like actually perfect. Oh boy, man. Okay. So that's all of this. Is that correct? Yeah. Of the ones that I finished, this goes here. You two I refuse to finish. This is F tier. This is bad. As I said in the RWBY video, this survives the F tier. This one, I don't think, as much as I fucking hate the ending, I don't think I would put it in F. I think it is a D, though. These are both fine. Like, the RWBY stuff, I kind of know where it is. Those are B. This is the B tier season of Symphogear. I think this is B. I could maybe put it here, but no, I don't think I will. This, like I said, what do I respect about it? I really like how it looks, but most of these I really like how they look. And the Pokemon vibe, I think it's maybe more C. I think that's fair. Let's give the C tier some more love. This, I think, would stay where it is. Because I do think it's just, I think it's okay. I did like it. I may be a little too positive on it for C. But I do just kind of like, I like it. I think it's fine. I would watch more, but I'm not like crazy to watch. But maybe that is more of a C tier. I think that's fair. No, I didn't mean, would I put that there? I think this is maybe more of a B. This one, I think, is overall kind of a C. The shit that really works is here, maybe up there, but I think overall it's probably a B tier. This, I do think, is a B tier Survivor season because of how much I do like our main characters. I think that's fine. Yeah, as much as I do love Season 3's climax, I don't... This is already really crowded. And I feel like, could I really put it up against seasons of Symphogear? No. Yeah. This is my least favorite season of Adventure Time so far, but still really good. Yeah. No. That's up there. If anything, this is too low. But no, I don't, like, when I'm looking at the other big anime here, I'm like, do I really enjoy this more than Edgerunners or Frieren or Witch? No. This is where it should be. I mean, I like that because it's more symmetrical, but I think that's right. That feels right. Okay. This is one of my favorite shorts that I watched this year. So let me do this. Let me try to move the shorts closer together. In that regard, this feels right. These, to me, are all S-tier shorts for different reasons. That is my favorite of the shorts. Yes. Season 5 has its problems. I really, really like Season 5. But if we're not just looking at RWBY, and we are looking at all the animes, let me kind of move this over here. Put Symphogear together. I mean, for my favorite live action? Would it be this? That's an interesting question. What live action show did I enjoy more? You know, I remember in the finale of 45, there was a point where I was really disappointed. It's like, this just became the most predictable, easy finale ever. But then actual Final Tribal really sold it. I feel like Chucky I am going to move down from the double S, especially because it's not finished. And it really does come down, like, this is I mean, a lot of these are still ongoing. Like, don't get me wrong, like, we'll talk about that here. But it's competing against something that is a finished product that I liked throughout, had some lulls, but I do think actually had a surprisingly strong ending. I think I leave this here for now. I think I would move Season 2 down here. I really like Season 2, though. Don't get me wrong. But I would put Season 3 up here. Okay, so of just cartoon... This is my favorite season of Adventure Time. I would put Hilda up there. I really, really like it. I mean, this is the best season of Adventure Time, but would I put it up here with that? No, I think I would. That I would keep up here. Maybe I'll move G down just a little bit. But I'm going to keep these two up here. I think that seems right. Axis for sure. XV I could maybe put there. But I think I would keep it an S. Oshi I'm going to keep in. And then these are... I don't think any of these are getting moved down. Maybe Season 5. Maybe. No, Season 5 did make me cry. And it does have a really, really good fight at the end. So I'll... we'll put it like right there. Again, this isn't supposed to be ordered. I'm just doing this more for my own... just anal brain that wants things more organized. The shorts, the live action, the Western animation, the anime, and RWBY kind of in the middle of that. That sounds accurate to me. And then like the Symphogear seasons that went right together. Between y'all. I think Oshi is these are all genuine contenders for being my favorite. But I don't think I would say I like Oshi more than any of these. I don't think I would say about Edgerunners either. That feels kind of right. But like I was saying here, it's ongoing. And I really like what I've gotten. I really like what it's going. But these two are finished. And I liked them throughout. And I really, really like where they ended. And this is getting me... This is what's getting me into more Gundam. But I think I do like Sonny Boy a little bit more. Okay. Favorite live show. Favorite season of RWBY. Favorite season of Symphogear. Favorite season of Adventure Time. Just kind of favorite cartoon. I think I enjoyed Season 3 of Hilda more than Season 4 of Adventure Time. But maybe not quite. That's pretty close. Favorite short. Favorite live action show. Not that there was a lot that I watched. Favorite anime. I think that feels pretty accurate. Now, if I have to pick a favorite of all of these animated shows, like, I'm going to keep these all here for now. Because I feel like I can all justify them being double S's in different regards. But, you know what? If we're here, let's have some fun. Between all of these, there's something... These two are very similar with the impact and effect they had on me. And believe it or not, this one had the stronger impact. As much as I fucking love Sonny Boy. This one hit me really hard and really personally. I think I would put this above Sonny Boy. This, I think, would be above that. And then GX. I might go with RWBY Season 9. I really might. But fuck, even Hilda made me cry. Hilda made me cry too. It was a different kind of cry. I feel like I would put RWBY 9 above GX. And that's why this is the season that's up here. Because it's the one that can really stand with Symphogear. I think it just would be this one. Again, these all I want to keep up here. For the different things they double S and represent. But of all these animated shows, this one was my favorite this year. So that's the tier list for shows, shorts, and the live action show that actually, that's a good point. Because I'm counting it as a stage show, but it is another live action show. So, hold on a sec. Yeah. Again, like, a stage show and a TV show, they're very different. I probably would put 45 above Aladdin. I think I would. Just, I guess I should clear that up. But that was that round of the tier list. That one felt long. I do have a few more I need to do. What is it now? It's games, movies. I think that's it. Maybe I'll do it now. I might kind of chill for a bit. We'll see. We'll figure it out like we figured all this shit out. But I will see you later. Talk to you later. Have a good day.